So the directions in today's Do Now say sort the pictures into parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting but not perpendicular. And then write the number next to the row where it belongs. So if I look at this first, number 1, I see the two line segments intersect at a 90-degree or right angle. So I'm going to write a 1. We already did that one. A 1 as perpendicular. Go ahead and do numbers 2 through 5 and press play when you're ready to hear the answers. So we talked yesterday about perpendicular, parallel, and intersecting, which is perpendicular is a type of intersecting lines, a specific type, but we're going to look at ones that are intersecting but not perpendicular. So we already did number 1. Let's look at these line segments in number 2, A, B, and D, C. What would you say about those? Actually, I'm going to have you show me with your arms whether you think parallel, perpendicular, or our new ones intersecting. Show me with your arms. What do you think for number 2? Good, I'm seeing a lot of the arms right over the top of each other because this is parallel. Okay, let's take a look at number 3. Lines CD and AB. Show me with your arms. What do you think? Parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting? Great, I see a lot of perpendicular, strong arms. And we know because when they intersect, they form that right angle. Trace that over in your notes. This is a really important symbol. This tells anyone looking at that picture that that is a right angle. Number 4, show me with your hands. Parallel, perpendicular, intersecting. Excellent. These ones are intersecting, but not perpendicular. They're intersecting at a few different angles. None of them are 90-degree angles. And I tried to be really tricky on number 5. Show me what you think with your arms. Bridget's got it. Good confidence. Yes, if you said intersecting, you are in fact correct. Number 5 are intersecting lines. And you might be saying, Mrs. George, how is that possible? You said intersecting lines meet at one point, and these ones, I'm looking at the picture, they never touch each other. Well, what do the arrows mean? Who remembers? What do arrows mean, Grace? They go on and on forever in both directions. So you can imagine if this one's going on and on forever, it is going to hit. So even though you couldn't see it in this picture, the arrow indicates that they will intersect. So those are intersecting lines. Turn to page 27 in your math journal and play back the video when you're there and ready to do this with us. You're also going to want to have a straight edge, like a folder or another notebook that you can use to trace a straight edge. We're going to use the spine of our math folder. So on page 27, it has some geometry problems. And yesterday, I think it was Lucia who asked, why are we learning, how are we going to use this vocabulary? Well, here are some examples of problems that mathematicians use where they need their geometry knowledge and their geometry notation. So it says, use a straight edge to draw and label, use a straight edge to draw the following. Draw and label line segment RT. And notice they wrote it in words, line segment RT, but they also put the math notation like we practiced yesterday. So you have a straight edge. You're going to use your straight edge to draw a little line segment. Make sure you use your straight edge. I can't do that on the board, but you should be using your straight edge because part of being a good mathematician is neatness. I think your folder is going to be a little easier. And you're going to draw a line. It doesn't matter, or sorry, a line segment. It doesn't matter if it's facing this way. You could also face it this way. You could face it this way. As long as it's straight, okay, you get to pick how you want to face it. Ooh, Shallow, you're a step ahead. Stay with us, okay? Just because I don't want you to miss anything. So we now have to label with our points on there. So you're going to want to clearly draw your endpoints. Make sure you clearly draw your endpoints. Now it's starting to look like a line segment. But we also know the names of these points. Since this line segment is called RT, one of them is going to be R, one of them is going to be T. Fill that out on yours. Then we get to letter B. What is another name for line segment RT? Raise your hand if you know from our naming yesterday. Bridget? You got it. If I just wrote this, would that be correct? No, I need my mathematical notation. Draw the line segment symbol above it. Go ahead and fill that out. Now we're ready for number 2. It says draw and label line BN, then draw and label a point T on it. This is a two-parter direction. Everybody write a little number 1. First we have to draw and label the line BN, and then write a little number 2. Draw and label a point T on it. I can't tell you on math home links and assessments how often students will do the first part and then completely forget about the second part. And you know how to do it, so it's just, we don't want to lose a point for no reason, right? Okay, so let's start by drawing and labeling our line BN. So you're going to, again, use your straight edge to draw some sort of straight path. You already got it, perfect. But now, so go ahead, use your straight edge on number 2. Draw some sort of straight path. Since it's a line, what do I need to put on the ends? Emily? Yes, arrows, because it goes on and on forever in both directions. Make sure you have your arrows on your drawing as well, because it asked us to label a line segment. This one asks us to label a line. Now, rub your ears so I know you're listening. A lot of times, girls draw the arrows and then they forget to draw the points, or they draw the points right up against the arrows. When you put points on this, I want you to put them a little bit away from the arrows, because that's just, again, how mathematicians have done it in the past. They leave a little space before their arrows. So we should have 2 points. And based on the question, what letters am I going to use for these 2 points? You can call it out. Perfect. B, N. And now I did step 1, but now I have to do step 2, draw and label a point T on it. Does it matter where I put T? No, you could put it anywhere you want on this line, as long as it's clear. I'm going to put it between B and N, but if you wanted to put it closer to your arrow, that would be fine. It just has to be on there. Now, have I followed both parts of the direction? Yeah. Now I'm ready to do letter B. Letter B says, what are 2 other names for line BN? Now, here's what I'm not going to do. I wouldn't write BTN. Mathematicians only use 2 points when they're naming a line. So who could give us one other name for BN? One other name. Luciana. Love it. NB. And if I just wrote it like this, is that okay? No, she's shaking her head. I need my line notation above it. Okay, Luciana gave us a great one. What's another name? We love all these eager mathematicians who are really into geometry. Quinn. Excellent. Quinn picked 2 points. T, B. And Quinn, if I wrote it like that, is that okay? Now what do I need? Need a line on top of it, my math notation. Awesome. Could you have said BT? Yes. Could you have said TN? Could you have said NT? Yes, awesome. And this one I think had 6 possible names. So we've gotten quite a few of them. Okay, we're going to do one more. Question number 3 says draw and label Ray SL. Draw and label point R on it. So again, we want a straight path. So go ahead, use your straight edge to draw a straight path. Use your straight edge to draw a straight path. Since it's a ray, on one side, we're going to put an endpoint. On either side, yep, doesn't matter which direction this ray goes. Yeah, on either side. And then on the other side, we're going to put on, you got it, our arrow. Say it's going on forever and ever in one direction. Now, I need to label him SL. So I have one point here. I need to put another point here. And this is very important. So Ava, you're right that it doesn't matter what direction he points, but you must make sure that the end point is called S. Because the order says S then L. So whichever is the end point, it's not going on forever, that has to be S. And then the other point you drew, notice again, I drew this a little bit away from the arrow, like a true mathematician. This other point is going to be L. And this is saying it goes on and on forever in the direction of L. So this is labeled correctly. So I draw and labeled SL. I'm done, right? Moving on. No, we had a two-parter. I know Alba saw it. Alba, what's the second part of those directions? Thank you. So I'm going to pick wherever I want to put it. This seems like a fine spot to set up a point to me. You get to pick on your line where seems like a fine spot to set up a point to you. And as Alba said, I'll label that one R. We're actually going to do letter B as well because it can be a little tricky. So then it says in letter B, what is another name for SL? And you might be saying, Mrs. George, what is going on? Yesterday you told me that rays don't like nicknames. You told me that I could never call him LS, right? Or I'd really hurt his feelings. So why is it asking me for a nickname now? Who knows a name we could call Ray that wouldn't hurt his feelings? It's actually true. Shallow? Excellent. Shallow wants to call him Ray RL. Does he go on and on forever in the direction of L? So that is a proper nickname. There's actually one more you could do. RL. Oh, wait, we did SL. Oh, yeah, there's one more. There's one more. Sophia? That's the type of shape he is. Riley? Yes, because he goes on and on forever in the direction of R, doesn't he? So Riley said we could call him SR. Great. It's still starting at an endpoint and going on and on and on forever in that direction. So those are very clear. I'm going to stop our recording here for today.